post-game press conference for West Liberty started. Joining us today from West Liberty is head coach Jim Crutchfield, junior guard Alex Falk, and King Cockburn. Coach, we'll go ahead and open it up with the opening statement from you.
Obviously we're disappointed we lost the game. Differences in the game. I thought we gave up too many offensive rebounds. They pulled 15. A lot of them end up in easy putbacks and loose balls. Loose balls that we normally get, we didn't get to. They beat us to the ball, and that's obviously to their credit. Those are the kind of things that's hard work and blue-collar play pays off, and I think they played a good, hard-nosed, blue-collar game. They hung on to the ball the best they could. They crashed the boards on both ends. They rebounded well. They went after loose balls, and when it's said and done, you lose by 1 point.
We'll go ahead and open it up for questions. Just keep in mind to make sure that you guys say your name and your affiliation.
Mark Harden, Boston Herald. Coach, your team went on a 21-3 run to take a 69-60 lead, and then shortly after that, they responded with a 19-4 run. You want to talk about that momentum switch there and any effect it had on their team with regard to their response?
We've kind of been a team of runs all year, and we had a good run to take the lead. But we've also been pretty good at, once we get a lead, at controlling the game, because we handled the ball pretty well and made pretty good decisions. But I don't know how much it would be. The turnaround run by Stonehill, I think you said it was 19-4. I don't know how much it was them. I'm always looking at the game. I'm looking at the game from our vantage point, and from our vantage point, we kind of we did some things I thought that kind of gave the ball back too soon. A couple of charging calls, a couple of walking calls. And we can't turn the ball over. When you take control of the game, you have to take control of the game. You have to handle the basketball and make good decisions. And I don't think at that point in time we did what we normally do. And to Stonehill's credit, again, I watch our team, but they must have been doing something right. They come off a couple screens, hit a couple big threes there. And somewhere in this, we're a pretty good three-point shooting team. And I probably underestimated Stonehill's perimeter shooting. They were 10 for 19 from the three-point line. Some of them were tough shots. I thought those were some big ones they come up with during that stretch. Yeah, Sean.
Jim, Sean Ryan, really intelligent, sir. Usually when you guys go on a run like that, teams have had a tendency to just wilt. I mean, you kind of exert your will, and that's what we've talked about. Talk about it. You don't see very often another team responding to your run that way.
Yeah, and to their credit, that's probably why they're here. They're a strong team mentally, and I felt like we did have a nice run. But I really didn't think that they were going to go away by their by their own admission. We're going to have to beat them down the stretch, and we didn't, because they weren't going to go away. They've got a lot of guys with senior experience, and I thought they had players that stepped up and made big plays. They just kept playing hard. They played as hard as they could and as smart as they could from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. And the fact that we had a 20-4 run didn't seem to affect that. You didn't see a lot of frustration. They just kept playing as hard as they could, and all of a sudden things started turning their way. That's how I looked at it.
Any more questions?
Hey, Coach, talk about Mike Anthony from Wheeling, WTRF. Let's talk about how much Cedric being out, didn't get, he's your engine that runs the team. Talk about how him being out, in and out, and getting in foul trouble really affected you.
Obviously, he's had a good tournament run. He was the MVP of the regional tournament and was playing great basketball. And I guess the word today was he never got untracked. He had some quick fouls. Had 3 in the first half, come back, picked up his 4th early. As soon as he got back, he picked up a 5th one. They ended up putting 16 minutes on the court. And sometimes when he got back in, maybe it was pressing to do too much in a short period of time. So, as they say, letting the game come to him. But I think the fouls probably affected him as much or more in his play than it did our, we like to have him, but it affected him probably as much or more as it did our team.
there's any last questions?
Alex, just comment on the game and how disappointing it is. I mean, you were trying to show a lot of burden out there.
It was very tough. They played really well. I think we missed a lot of opportunities that would have pushed us over the edge. There were many moments in the first and second half where we could have, got a lead and pushed it out a little more and could have pressed more. I just think they rebounded really well, and we didn't respond to getting boxed out. I think our press, we missed some opportunities that we could have capitalized on, definitely. So it was just overall a tough game. I mean, attributed to them. They played really well.
Keen, anything you want to add to that?
Not really. It's obviously very disappointing. Stonehill played a really good game. They had a good game plan, I feel like.
What was going well during that big run, and how was the team feeling? What was the mood at that point?
Our team?
Yeah, for Keene, when you were making the long 21-3 run, do you remember what the vibe was like during that?
I mean, the momentum was definitely on our side, with the crowd into it and everything, but we just wanted to keep it up.
Keene, if you could, talk about your role in the way it has increased. Your best game of the season today, coming off maybe your best game of the season in the regional final, and Jim, could you follow up with that after these games?
Sure.
Well, I just wanted to come out and be aggressive. It kind of left me open a couple of times. I got a couple of transition buckets, transition threes. I mean, there's nothing really I can say. I don't want to talk about myself.
His confidence has picked up as he's played more and more. There's no doubt about it. And for a guy his size, he's awful quick, and quick off the dribble and quick up to the rim to block shots. And I just feel like his game has progressed as the season has gone along, and obviously it's coming awful handy here come tournament time.
Alex, Rob Metzger, WTV9, Stonehill. After you guys made that run, were you surprised at the way they were able to come back? Because a lot of teams you guys play, they kind of succumb to that run and just, you guys kind of roll from there. Were you surprised, and kind of how did that happen?
Not so much. I mean, they did it all game. I mean, they were battling hard all game. I didn't see one time where they just kind of left off their pedal. I mean, they were pushing hard. We were pushing hard. I knew it was going to be a battle to the end. I didn't think that we were going to push it up. I mean, we wanted to. We tried to, but I feel like, they just kept pushing, and they played really hard to get that back, and they hit some big shots, hit some big threes, got some big rebounds, and that's the story of the game.
Jim, just comment one more time on another great run. You got back to the Elite Eight. I know it's not quite as far as you got last year, but what a great run. This was supposed to be your rebuilding year after losing 4 All-Americans.
And obviously you talk about that in the locker room. There'll come a time here, hopefully in the next week or so, we'll be able to look back and say, what an incredible season we had. We had a great year with only 2 losses in the regular season, and won a conference championship in a very difficult conference, and followed up with a conference tournament championship, and then a regional championship, and to get here to Elite Eight. All that stuff is incredible, but you don't feel it till the sting of this game goes away. But it has been a great run, and we did lose a lot of guys from last year's team, our top 4 scorers, and we have a lot of guys that stepped up this year. Some young guys, Alex was the only starter back, but other guys around him kind of picked up, like Keene has the last month or so. But it's been a very encouraging season. It's been almost like a miracle season. If someone would have told me that we'd be sitting here with this kind of record at the beginning of the year, I would think that I might be kidding. But it's been a really good year, but we're not going to feel that here until the sting of this goes away, which might take a little bit.
Coach, Brian Gossett with Ohio Valley Athletics. I got kind of a tough question for you. Going down that last minute, we had a couple good looks, and we took some shots that didn't go the way we wanted to. I think Tim missed 3 shots in that last minute. So going back that last minute, is there anything you could do differently?
I'd probably foul with 2.3 seconds to go on a dead ball. We had some success denying the inbounds pass, but outside of that, and even after I sent the players out, I thought it's going to be hard to deny this. Even if we tip it loose and only get 2.3, might have been a better decision to go ahead and try to foul on a dead ball. When you're fouling guys on a dead ball, you're always at risk of official call an intentional foul. But I think we'd be better off just to take the 4 guys that are breaking, just bumped them like crazy. Try to get the official to call on the right guy, the weaker free throw shooters, and take a shot at maybe they'll miss one of the two, and we'll get the ball back with 2 seconds to go, with a prayer to tie the game with a 3-pointer or something. But outside of that, no, we've won an awful lot of close games this year by making good decisions down the stretch. I let players probably make more decisions than some coaches do, and I trust these guys to make good decisions. There was a couple of shots I thought we shouldn't have taken down the stretch that were just too difficult when we were still in that. We can go for 2 as well as 3 right now. And we kind of had to panic. We got to get a 3 up look about us. But no, not really. You know, we do the things we do kind of by a set plan. You know, we play 2-minute drill and practice every day and finish out games the same way. And outside the last 2 seconds, nothing comes to mind right now.
Obviously, Coach, a 1-point loss, and you guys missed some free throws that you normally make, or at least have in this season.
And you can't control that. And we didn't shoot the ball real well from the perimeter, but you know, I thought Stonehill had something to do with that. I thought they really played good perimeter defense. And some of the threes toward them were kind of very difficult, kind of prayer type shots. I think the difference was not so much that we shot it poorly, which we didn't shoot that great, as I thought they shot it well. You know, anytime a team goes 10 for 19 from the 3-point line, a couple tough ones mixed in there too. They had a kid come off the bench cold and drained a couple tough threes. The one from the corner with 13s, a freshman, come in and drained a tough 3 leaning back in the corner, and then come off the double screen for another big 3. Those were very, very tough on us to handle those threes. And yeah, I think a lot of it shooting-wise was they shot the ball extremely well. We'd always like to shoot the ball better, but you know, one of the things I talked about before the game was we have to play well enough to win, even when we don't shoot the ball well. You just can't bang. You're never going to have a record like we have at 33-3, but you go into every game thinking if we don't shoot it well, we'll probably lose. You have to control the variables you can control. And some of those variables that you can control, like giving up offensive rebounds to the other team, we didn't control as well today. And if we'd have held them to 4 offensive rebounds instead of 15, you know, I would have been here talking before the other coach would have. We'd have won this game. So that's the key. It was not, you know, free throws and stuff, those vary a little bit. You can't control it. The things you can control, I thought those were the things that hurt us today. And they controlled the variables like rebounding, loose balls, and those things better than we did.
Coach, Brian Goss again. To Mike's point, you know, we got a young team and we weren't expecting to be in the Elite 8. So it's one of the off-season, we have a young team. What are you looking for this off-season?
We're looking to develop our basketball program so we have a better basketball team next year. I don't know, I can't imagine winning a whole lot more games. We won 33 games this year. But from my end, I want to have a better basketball team. I want our guys to be better as individual players, and I want them to function better as a team. I want to be, you know, execute everything we do offensively and defensively better. I want to be smarter. I want to have a much better basketball team next year and see where it takes us. You know, you can't control the other teams. There could be other teams that, you know, they come up with better teams than us next year. We can only control our team. My thoughts are we had a great year this year. Our team played great. We want to be better next year.
Coming into this game, if we would have told you the game was going to be played in the 90s, you would have taken that.
That would have sounded pretty good. But they're a very smart team. They took what we gave them. You know, they had a good game plan. It's been a game plan we've faced before where the team says, you know, you're going to put that much pressure on us. If we bust through that pressure and get an easy one, we're going to take it. And they did. And they got some easy ones. If we don't beat the pressure, we're going to kick it out and make you play some defense on us, run some clock down. And they did that. They did a very good job of executing that. And the pace was enough to put 90 points on the board. They shot extremely well. And that's one reason they scored 90 points. But I thought they did a real good job of playing up-tempo when it was to their favor. And that, you know, they weren't going to pass up layups or good opportunities. They took the stuff they should have taken and they passed on what was maybe some bad decisions. If they would have come up and lost a couple of quick ones from the perimeter, they didn't do that. They locked us down. They played good offense for 25 seconds. They scored a lot of points in the last 10 seconds of the shot clock.
All right, Coach. Congratulations on a great year.